Israel, Gaza, to say the obvious, is very serious. It's going to evoke a lot of emotions across the world. In fact, it has evoked a lot of emotions across the world. And it will have an impact in this region too, Singapore, Southeast Asia. There are deep divides in how people are reacting. And as the conflict unfolds, these divides are inevitably going to become deeper. There is also, if you look at the divide, the significant divide in this region, other places, is often along racial and religious lines. And the two sides hold their respective views deeply, passionately. Our position on Israel-Palestine and our support for the two-state solution is well known. It has been stated repeatedly. My remarks on the current situation are directed primarily at the security issues relating to Singapore. And I'll make 2 points in that context. One, in no circumstances can we accept any kind of terrorist attack. Hamas's attack on Israel, attacking and massacring civilians, is a massive terrorist attack. The kidnapping and unjustified murder of children, acts of cruelty, are shocking, horrifying, and this extreme violence must be condemned in clear, unequivocal terms. It is possible to hold very strong views on what is happening in the region. It is possible to deplore how the Palestinians have been treated over the years. It is possible to deeply sympathize with the plight of the Palestinians and yet still unequivocally condemn the terrorist attacks carried out in Israel. These atrocities cannot be justified by any rationale whatsoever, whether of fundamental problems or historical grievances. The second point I'll make, there is going to be a very severe reaction. Israel is going to react with its full might. We need to be clear about our stance. We condemn all acts of terrorism and wanton violence. But we must not let these events happening externally affect the internal situation within Singapore. We must, in Singapore, maintain our racial and religious peace. We have to stay vigilant. Terrorist groups will exploit such conflicts. They have already issued calls for followers to join in a wider jihad against Israel. There have also been reports of anti-Semitic attacks, incidents overseas. Our position has been made very clear over the years. We act against anyone who promotes or espouses extremism and violence. We have detained Singaporeans under the Internal Security Act because they fell for the pro-Hamas narrative and wanted to fight. So far, we have managed to avoid letting international events like these destabilize us within Singapore. This is going to be quite a tough period, but our fundamental attitude cannot change. We are all Singaporeans. We have a precious peace within Singapore, and we must not let external events affect that. Our security agencies are watching the situation closely, and for operational reasons, I cannot tell you the exact plans, but additional measures have been taken. I think this is something, talking about racial cohesion, we have to be very careful about. We have seen how various issues have polarized societies, caused divisions, created suspicions. And as I mentioned earlier, the suffering of innocent civilians caught in the conflict is a very emotive one. But in terms of our own religious harmony and understanding, we are in a fairly good position. In Singapore, about 9 in 10, 90%, said that various religions, Islam, Hinduism, Christianity, Chinese traditional religions, were all compatible with Singapore culture and values. And a majority of Singaporean adults who said they are religious are very tolerant of other perspectives. It's not something you see in many other countries. And most Singaporeans say that Singapore's religious, ethnic, cultural diversity is a good thing for the country and makes Singapore better. This is really quite remarkable. Our religious leaders, our people, are very different compared with many other countries. And it's due to a combination of factors. Legal framework we have, government policies, our religious and community leaders understanding what is important for Singapore, working together. So what we have built over the years and what we now have is precious and extremely remarkable. And we must do our best to protect it.